Welcome everyone. Welcome to today's call. Excited to have you guys on tonight and really a live Zoom call, a live webinar. I have our founder here, Peter, jumping on here in a second. Definitely want to make sure that I get everyone here on board and cameras turned on. Introduce yourselves. Let me know where you're coming in from. Folks, we are literally approaching Q4. Man, where did the time go? Where did the year go, right? So hopefully y'all are as excited as we are. Fall is in the air. This is really one of the most times where deals are getting done. People are shaking hands, kissing babies, and now more than ever, this is the right time to double down your real estate business. Again, whether you're brand new, getting started, never done a deal, or you're looking to level up, do more deals, right? Or try to find more consistent deals, more predictable of a business. Definitely have something here in store for you. We'll definitely take some notes if you haven't gotten a notebook already. But meanwhile, please turn on your camera. Again, on behalf of Partner Driven, my name is Roland, and we have a special treat tonight, and really kind of sharing with you how to even do just that, how to find even more deals, right? So please turn on your cameras. Jill, hello. Thank you for doing so. We have Mr. Patel. Welcome to the call, sir. Glad that you got that call situated with Andy. Guillermo, welcome. And then we have a couple team members on the call as well. We have Andy, of course. We got Sandy. We got Chelsea right in the background. Tonight's going to be a good night. Folks, continue to turn on your cameras. Say hello. Before I bring on our special guest here tonight, Andre, welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Pete, man, like I said, it's Q4. A lot of people are saying, hey, maybe it's time I check some of my goals off for the year and start doubling down now. And I've been working with you for 3+ years, and I've never seen you more excited about what's happening in the marketplace, more excited what's happening with our community, doing deals. And we got a bunch of folks here tonight who are equally as excited. Pete, thanks for being on the call.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Let me, guys, I'm only going to ask one favor here tonight, if you don't mind. Just turn on your camera. If you guys, I don't have a canned presentation. I don't have a bunch of slides to show you. I just talk. I talk and then I let you talk, ask questions. That's it. And so the only thing I ask ahead of time, flip on your camera. It just makes it a lot easier for me. Thanks, Clyde. It just makes it a ton easier for me when I do the talking. Instead of talking to a black screen, I talk to an actual face. So I appreciate that. I'm going to have a little fun here as we get started. Maurice, you with me? All right, guys, do me a favor. Just everyone unmute for a second. Just for a second. Everyone unmute for a second. Maurice, and I don't need an explanation, just yes or no. Are you looking to flip some real estate deals?
Yes.
I love it. Sergio, you looking to flip some real estate deals? I know you're driving. Thumbs up. That's it. Beautiful. 435 area code. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You want to flip some deals? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yes.
I love it. Mr. Robert, you want to flip
Definitely.
some deals? I love it. Andre Marks, Mr. Marks, flip some deals?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Miss Phillips, ups or downs? Flip some deals? I love it. That's what I want to hear. That's what I hear. Let's see. Now, is that Miss Jill?
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
Hey. You want to flip some deals?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Mr. Stern, you and I were just texting. You want to flip some deals? I love it. Thank you. Alsop, Mr. Alsop, looking astute in the glasses, flip some properties. I love it. Rusty,
Definitely. Definitely.
I like it. Rusty, flip some properties.
Yes, sir.
I see it. Mr. Flores, flip some properties.
Let's go, baby.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Emmanuel, I'm gonna assume that's a yes. Miss Duncan, I'm going to assume that's yes. And Dell, whoever you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Emmanuel. Oh, thank you for turning on your camera. I appreciate it. And as we get started here, ladies and gentlemen, that's the one thing that binds us tonight. We all come from different walks of life. I'm sure most people here live in different parts of the country, probably different education, different backgrounds, different families. In the end, probably it's safe to say the one thing that we all have in common today is that the family we want to be a part of is the real estate investing family. And specifically, everybody here wants to flip real estate properties. And so I'm going to make this one strong statement today. What I'm going to show you in terms of partnering with me and doing deals is Oh, Osman, I don't know how in the heck I missed you. Flip some properties. I knew you were going to say that. That's why I missed you. I like it. I like it. The one thing I'm going to assume is that you guys have already told me that you guys want to flip properties, and that is the one bond we have. And the statement that I want to make here is that in the next 30 or so minutes, I'm going to show you the absolutely easiest way, easiest way that is possible for you to flip real estate deals that exists in United States. Now, I make that statement not to be pompous, not to be in your face, not to be arrogant. I make that statement because it's a truthful statement. And every time I make that statement, I always say something like this that I'm going to tell you guys. If you happen to know when we're done today, an easier way that you could flip real estate deals, please tell me. Because I'm about, not only have I done 4,000 deals myself, but I know everybody out there who's doing this stuff. I know all the gurus. I know all the educators. I know the investors, by the way. I know the dudes that run the hedge funds. There's no one else in the country that does this. And there's definitely no one else in the country that'll partner with you. And there's sure as heck no one else in the country that'll bring the kind of experience that I bring to the table and share it with you. And I absolutely guarantee you nobody's going to pay on their own dime construction teams to fly across the country to where you live to get these projects done. And the final guarantee I'm going to say, there's sure as heck nobody in the country that's going to put up all the money for you to do as many deals as you want. Whether you're talking about earnest money, deposit money, purchase money, rehab money, carrying money, insurance money, tax money. And I'm never going to ask you to sign anything, guarantee anything, and all this. So what you guys are looking at today is absolutely near perfect way of doing real estate investing business. But I'm going to take this to the next level of something that even yesterday I wasn't telling people. So watch this, check this out. My personal mission when I started partnering with people many years ago now was very simple. Well, initially, it was just to do more deals. I mean, honestly, in the beginning, I wanted partners for no other reason than anybody else wants some partners. Hey, it's a way for me personally to do some more deals. But the mission has evolved over years. And right now, the mission is very simple. I want to help as many people across the United States flip real estate deals that has ever been done before. Interestingly enough, right now we already have more people doing more deals across the United States than we ever have, in more cities across the United States, pretty much in all the states across the United States. We also have more partners doing multiple deals than we ever have. But today, there's a new piece that I'm going to talk to you guys about. Now, the only way you could hear about this piece is I ask you to stay to the very end, and you'll see why I ask you to stay to the very end. But for those of you that stay to the very end, not only will you see that this is the easiest way to flip properties that exist across the United States, you will see to make a decision of whether or not to partner with me has become extremely easy also. It's something I wouldn't have even talked to you guys about yesterday or a week ago or 2 months ago. But I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to say it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and you guys are going to be introduced to it. Today, I'm just going to make the decision an absolute no-brainer decision. As a matter of fact, if you guys were telling me the truth that you guys all want to flip deals, I don't even know if I should say this because this does sound kind of goofy. I predict every single one of you in the next week will be flipping properties with me because of what I'm going to unroll today. And in order for me to build up what I'm going to unroll today, let me tell you how I got this model to the point that I could say this is the easiest and the simplest way of flipping real estate. By the way, when I say the word flipping, I know there's sometimes there's a misconception or people interpret the word flipping differently. I use the word flipping to represent a family of strategies. Okay. There are different strategies in real estate, right? The big picture is there's two types of strategies, two families. There's a short-term strategies and long-term strategies, right? We all know that. Long-term strategies are like, you own rentals, you do subject to deals, you do cash flow deals, you maybe get into some kind of development. That's obviously a long-term play. You do subject twos, you do lease options, you do reps. Long-term strategies are exactly what they are. They're long-term. They're not meant to get anybody rich. What they're meant is to get you wealthy over a period of time. So there's not going to be too many people that you talk to that like get into the rental business that say, well, I've been in it for 4 months and now retired from my job. I have too much money to spend. I have all the time in the world. No, those strategies are designed to do and implement and reap the rewards years and years and years and years down the road. As a matter of fact, if any of you here are under, if you're under 40 or 50, and if your parents were in real estate, that's how they got into real estate. That's how it got you piqued in interest. You saw your parents own properties for years, sometimes decades, pay down their mortgage, they retire, and they kind of live off of that, right? Those are all long-term strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing to do with those strategies. Those strategies don't get me excited. They don't get me fired up. I don't get excited about chasing $300 a month and then splitting 50-50 with a partner. And I don't get excited waiting till I'm 65 or 75 to pay off down pay my mortgages and make some big bucks. So if your goal is to do those type of strategies, I'm going to be upfront with you. I am no expert in them. I'm not good at them, and I don't even do them. I used to do them. I used to have up to 400 properties that I owned from a long-term perspective. And then on the way to building those 400 properties, I guess you could say by accident on the side flipped about 30 properties. So I had 400 cash flowing properties, flipped about 30, 2 or 3 dozen properties on the way to building that. And one night I was counting how much money I made, and I realized on the dozen or a couple dozen flips I did, I made more money than on the 400 monsters I developed. And I promise you, those are monsters when you get into those numbers. And so that's when I made a strategic decision. I was going to get out of the long-term plays and I want to get into the short-term plays. I got into short-term plays, and why I'm a big promoter of short-term plays. By the way, short-term strategies utilize about 7 or 8 of them. All the way from the famous one that we all know, the fix and flip. That's actually out of the short-term strategies, the longest one I do. An average fix and flip can take, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. But then I also with my partners, the other short-term strategies I do are like wholesale, pre-marketing as is, pre-listing, blah. You don't need to know them all, but just know that if you're going to be partnering with me, we're going to be doing short-term strategies for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, they make you the most money, right? No one's going to, that is a point that cannot be argued. Short-term strategies always make you more money than long-term strategies, right? Long-term strategies make you money over years and decades if you stick with them. Short-term strategies make you big bucks over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So I wanted to get in the strategies that make the most amount of money. And the second reason I love short-term strategies and why I got into them is because they hedge against market fluctuations. One of the biggest reasons people fail in real estate is that real estate is an ever-changing business, right? And it always has market corrections. And by the way, it's during those market corrections where almost everybody gets knocked out, right? There's been a lot of these market corrections. The one that we're all familiar with happened in 08 and 09. That's when about 90% of people that were in a business got wiped out. They just didn't understand how to react to it. That's all. But when you're doing short-term strategies and you're in and out of deals within a couple months, although real estate fluctuates, it doesn't fluctuate that quickly. So you make the most amount of money, and if you had to get out, you can get out quickly. That is a very, very beautiful way of setting up the business. Agreed? So that's the play with me. Now, the mission of my business has always been I wanted as many people to do real estate deals as humanly possible across the United States. I wanted to develop that model. I found out many, many, many years ago that the only way to do that, was to make this business as simple as possible. Kind of the point that I started with. I realized years and years and years ago, it was not enough just to give people money. It was not enough just to provide some other things. I realized many years ago that in order for me to have the biggest impact on as many people as possible and to flip as many deals as possible, the only way that can come to fruition is I used to call it, but then I stopped, dumb down this business as much as possible. So I've substituted the word for dumb down to make it as simple and as easy as possible. And I knew that if I can get to the threshold where I make this so simple for people, because in the end, we all know it's a very difficult business. This is why so few people make any money in real estate. It is way more difficult than most. Nobody has no idea the difficultness of this business when they start in this business. Nobody. And for any of you guys that have ever done real estate deals or trying to do deals or are doing deals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This business is a monster. It's a monster for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons, it has many, many, many unrelated pieces to it. You know, all the other industries, you know, to be a McDonald's owner, you got to become brilliant at their system. You know, to be an accountant, you got to understand the principles of accounting. To be a doctor, you got to learn to be a doctor. To be a real estate investor, you got to be really brilliant at about 10 different things. Things that no one has any professional training for. You got to be a brilliant marketer, brilliant negotiator, brilliant decision maker, brilliant due diligence inspections dude, brilliant person in terms of dealing with attorneys. You got to be brilliant at raising capital. You got to be an absolutely expert at getting things fixed or handled. Who in the hell knows how to do that before they got started in this business? You got to be an absolutely genius at knowing how to exit things at the right time, in the right place, in the right manner, with the right people. And those are just the big things. In every one of those has a subtopic of 3 or 4 other things you got to be brilliant at. Nobody teaches you that about real estate, right? Everybody says, "Oh, just go find a deal," you know, right? Go find a deal, and then you got to do 30 other things to make it work. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is a business that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, just like you all here tonight. But in the end, very, very few people make any money. And we all know this. We just don't talk about it publicly. I don't mind talking about it because I got the answers for it. But that's why this business is filled with people in seminars who make no money, and RIA meetings that make no money, webinars that make no money. Everybody just gets on, gets fired up, gets excited, gets told the exact same crap by the exact same people. And in the end, we all know the miserable statistics. As a matter of fact, if you do want me to share the statistic with you, it's less than 3% of people ever make any real money in this business, like real money. Everybody else at best struggles, hangs out, maybe does a deal here and there. In the end, they could make more money at McDonald's, or some lose money and then never did. I mean, you guys know the story. I'm not here to beat up the business. I'm here to tell you that there's an answer to all of this. And that's what I'm very excited to share with you. But let's go back to what I was saying. I realized many years ago, for me to get this model running at very high levels, where a lot of people, not just some people, but a lot of people can do a lot of deals. It didn't matter where the location was, what city, what state, urban, rural, expensive, non-expensive, this, that, no matter what the variables were, the only way to truly accomplish that is we had to simplify this, right? We had to dumb this business down as much as possible. And the only way we could be able to do that, at first we thought we could kind of train through that. Can't do that. Can't train through that. Too many moving pieces, too many parts, too risky, too volatile. Can't do that. So many, many years ago, I made the strategic decision that in order to accomplish that, we were actually going to do almost all those pieces for our partners. You know, we said, listen, we're not going to sit here and climb a hill during our whole existence. We're not going to be climbing Mount Everest every night, expecting things out of people that we ourselves know are nearly impossible to accomplish. So many years ago, I shifted this model to simply saying this: we're going to start taking all the pieces of this business, and instead of getting our partners to become really good at them, which is like climbing a mountain, and if you're trying to do this business, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I decided that let's just take piece by piece by piece, and we're going to do it for our partners. And the goal is to just do more and more and more and simplify what you do is as much. Remember, tonight I got I think crescendo. I'm not sure if crescendo is a word, but I got a big finish because today I put the final kibosh, the one missing piece of how everybody tonight is going to get started. You just watch. And within the next week, everybody here, I predict, unless you just hate me or you hate the business, but everybody else is going to be partnering with me. But you got to wait till the end because that's the last piece I'm going to introduce tonight that I'm going to roll out tonight. So step by step, we started rolling out, or we started basically taking over the deal function, doing it for our partners, implementing it, and taking things away. Obviously, the very first thing, does anybody know the very first thing that I started providing for our partners before we did anything else? Take yourself off mute if you think you know. 10 years ago was the very first time I ever partnered with somebody on the deal. Anybody have any idea that was the very first thing I provided?
Money.
Money. That was the initial attraction. When I got started, I thought, okay, the way to set up these partnerships with random people across the United States, it's got to be money. If I could go to the market and say, I'll put up all the money, I'll be able to get people's attention. Attention I got. I even got Hollywood's attention back then. They thought it was such a cool thing. They wanted me to do a reality show. We even started going in that direction till I realized there's nothing real about reality shows. And we put a kibosh on it. But money was our first thing. Ladies and gentlemen, do you guys know to this day, money is still the #1 reason why people get started with us? 10 years later. But I could tell you very simply, when the only thing I did was provide money, we did not experience even a 1/1000th of a fraction of success we're experiencing today. So let me take it to the other extreme. Who knows? Now, there's been a lot of pieces added, and we're going to go through them. But who knows the one piece that had the biggest impact? It wasn't money. Money is the one that to this day everybody gets in over. But when we ask what do you guys think? I want you guys to take yourself off mute again and tell me, what is the one piece that I added on that had actually a bigger impact than money? Any idea?
You probably had a process in place.
A process. Give me some other ideas. I like that. Anybody else? What's the one piece we added on that had bigger impact than money? Because in the beginning, it literally was just money. There was nothing else.
Setting up
Deal negotiation.
Negotiations. Give me somebody else said something.
Exit strategies.
Exit strategies. Give me another one. I like this. I like this. These are all, by the way, all these pieces have been added since then, but no one's hit the top one. I knew no one would hit. No one ever hits the top one. I want to see if tonight somebody could hit the top one.
Construction services.
Construction services, we have, yes, sir, but it's not the top one.
Support.
I'm sorry?
Support system.
Setting up a support system. We're on to something. Now watch this. Watch this. To this day, by the way, every single piece we said here that you guys said we have the construction piece, the negotiations piece, every single piece is now part of what we do for our partners. But nobody really hit 100% in the one piece that has the biggest impact. The gentleman, I don't have my glasses on. Was that, Amrish, was that you who said the last one? Who said the support?
Andre.
Mr. Andre, came the closest. When we do surveys to this day, guys, thousands of deals done, 10 years running our partnership program. When we ask our partners today, forget back then when the only thing we had was money. None of the things you guys just brought up we had. But 10 years later, when we do a survey of partners that just get started with us, the number one thing to this day is still money. I'm here because of money, 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 money. Watch this. And then they list these things off, like you said, negotiations, rehab, construction crews, all this stuff. And do you guys know what the very last thing everyone lists in the very beginning? The very last thing that everyone lists in the beginning. I know you said support, but it's they say most everybody words it differently. They word it coaching and training. That is the least important thing to our initial partners that get in this business. The least important. They put the least amount of value. As a matter of fact, some new people that start with us even tell us, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I don't even tell me, oh, there's coaching here. I don't want nothing to do with it. And some people make a fatal mistake that they even say, oh, you guys do coaching even. I don't want anything to do. It's got anything to do with coaching. And so let me be real with you. The number one thing that I bring to the table, why there's been thousands of deals completed, why I have more partners doing more deals across the United States than I ever have, not because of money, not because of rehab construction, not because of negotiations, not because the infrastructure I think somebody was talking about. We have all those things, but those are not the number one things. The number one reason for the success that we're experiencing with people like you is my experience. That's the number one thing I bring to the table. And it's interestingly, it's the one thing that everybody sticks their arm out. Now watch this. The exact same survey we do all the time where I talk to partners that are crushing it with us. Got partners done 200 deals, dozens of deals. And I ask them the same question. Why are you still here? You don't need to be here no more. You've made enough money. You got enough know-how. You understand things that nobody else understands. Why are you still here? They don't say money. They don't say they don't say the rehab teams you get into my cities. They don't say anything you guys just said. 100% of the ones that have been here for a little bit reverse this whole thing and understand that the most important value to someone like me is the experience I bring to the table. The reason that's the most important thing is that I know things about real estate that none of you guys know. Not because I'm smarter, not because of anything that you may think. I've watched more videos. I've gone to more training. I know more gurus. None of that. I've done more deals. I've got more experience. And the reason that we're doing more deals now than we ever have before with people like you who some have zero experience in real estate, a passion, a drive, a want, a willingness, but no experience, some of them, is because I know things you don't know about this business. I bring magic to the table. See, the only thing that we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to help us find deals. You know that by now, right? That is the one responsibility. Remember, big crescendo coming tonight. Big closing. See, I know how to create a deal. Listen, what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now. By the way, for those of you that have your cameras shut off, turn them on for a second. Because I'm like, I got some really cool stuff to share with you. And if you're actually there, turn on your cameras. It's just a courtesy. If I'm spending time talking to you, spend some time listening to me. If not, we could just plug you out. We have no problem exiting you guys. I'm going to show you, because what I'm about to share with you is very impactful, very important. Listen to me. By the way, thank you guys. Honestly, just so weird talking a black screen instead of talking to a beautiful face. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen to me. Listen to me, very important. This is the magic on what we do. When people start with us, the number one question we get, even before they start, is what's the buy box? You guys agree with that, right? Everyone wants to know, what's the buy box? What's the buy box? I know why they're asking that. They're asking that because they're trying to see the level of difficultness. Like, what's the buy box? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a needle in a haystack, which means I have no shot in this thing, Peter? Or are you looking for something that is easily found? That's what they're trying to say, but they don't want to say it like that because nobody wants to seem like they don't want to put the effort in. So the code words in our business is what's the buy box? What's the deal you're looking for? Some people will actually even bring us a deal ahead of time, which we refuse to look at. Because if you only want to do this business with us over one deal, I tell people you're not welcome. You can't start with us. I'm looking for people that want to do many deals. Anyway, I'm going to tell you something why this is so powerful and why more people across the United States are doing deals with me, not with anyone else, with me and my team than anywhere else. And more people are doing it right now in more cities, in more states than we ever have. Listen, this is it right here. This is the magic that makes this work. I could take a deal, pretend this is a deal. Let's pretend you just found this house, let's say, right? And we have 100 investors. I'm just one of 100 random investors. The only thing we have in common is all of us are pretty successful. You know, let's say everyone's done at least 30 or 40 deals. I've done 4,000. You march 100 investors into this house or buy this property and listen to what I'm going to tell you, because this is the magic. 99 of them will look at the numbers, will look at the property, will look at the value, will look at whatever the hell that is they look at, and they'll say not a deal. That's fair. And I'll look at the same thing that 99 people, investors, pretty darn savvy, and I'll see, and I'll create a deal. And that's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see most people, the reason they don't get successful is, I already told you, there's a lot of moving pieces in this business. But it all starts when you put the wrong raw material in it. The wrong raw material for most people is the wrong deal. They don't have to even get to the end of it. They fail in the beginning of it. They either can never identify a good deal, or they put the wrong deals into their world and they crash and burn. So listen, this is so important. Good real estate deals are not found. I know what you hear out there from the gurus. The gurus are constantly telling you it's about the buy box, right? You heard that. It's about the formula. Do you run your formula? See, they have to tell you that because they're taking a lot of your money from you. And they have to justify it somehow. They can't just say what I'm saying. They can't, because they're not going to put up the money. They're not going to get involved with you. So they have to fill their time with things like formulas and buy boxes and school zones and urban and rural and time in the market and 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, right? Because when they spend enough time talking to you about that, it fills your head with bullshit and crap, but it fills your head and you feel like you got value. That's not real estate. Real estate is the ability to look at something like this, that there's nothing really there, like nothing. The numbers don't make sense, doesn't fit anybody's buy box, not the right equity, not the right school zone, not the right urban or rural, not the right city, not the right nothing, possibly. Real estate is taking that and creating a deal out of that. And this is what I do better than anyone in the country. I'm a deal engineer. This is why, to this day, ladies and gentlemen, I still get involved in every single deal that goes through our organization. Because there's no one, not even on my team, there's no one better at structuring deals. And my team is powerful. My team is amazing. When my team gets a hold of you, you will be shocked of how you're going to be elevated. But I'm still the best. And so I still get involved. A little selfishly, I love it. I love doing it. I love creating deals out of no deals. B, I'm the best I know at it. I literally know how to structure deals. And when you know how to structure deals, you could do almost the impossible. How many other individuals like me, like I'm not a $5 billion hedge fund. I'm not an institution. I'm not just some kind of fund that closes their eyes and spends $1 billion into real estate, has no idea what they own or anything like that because they have money and they got to spend. That's not me. I'm an individual with 4,000 deals completed. Why? Because I learned a long time ago, it's not about the buy box. It's about structure. It's about structure. So when you're partnering with me, the instructions will never be, listen to me, the instructions will never be, here's the buy box. Go find it. Go find the buy box. When you're partnering with me, you'll never hear anyone on my team. God forbid, if I hear anyone on my team, I get rid of them. If anyone on my team says, "Oh, here's the numbers Peter's looking for," you're out. You will never be part of this team because I've never given those kind of instructions that we're looking for certain kind of numbers. That's amazing. You know what that makes this the biggest buy box that exists, right? If it ain't about the equity, and it ain't about the numbers, and it ain't about the buy box, it's about creating a deal that means the only thing we need is just get me something. So, by the way, for those of you that are just joining, please stay to the end because today I got something magical to share with you. Like today, I'm introducing a new piece to allow people to start partnering with me, which I've never done before or not doing right now. This is going to be a no-brainer. So when I'm done, I promise you, you'll be happy. By the way, I appreciate guys. Just show of hands. Anybody getting it all excited? Just give me a show of hands because anybody getting excited? Ah, Lakita, that's my kind of hands. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I see it all. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. If it's about creating a deal, then the next logic question, if Pete's saying it's not about the buy box, it's not about equity, it's not about numbers, it's not about that stupid 65 or 70% formula, and if a deal has nothing to do with that, we've all been taught about that, then what is it about? Because it is about something. What it is about, it's about the source. It's about the source. As long as you're getting your deal, your property, whatever we're putting, from the right source, I consider that worthy of moving forward. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, and I think it's going to be everyone tonight, honestly, when you guys hear what I'm about ready to tell you, when you're partnering with me, we're going to show you what that source is. By the way, it's not magic. You got to be working directly with owners. It's not an MLS. It's not through your wholesaler. It's not through Zillow. All those things that everybody tries to get. It's nothing, no deals there. It's about connecting directly with owners. Because you cannot sculpt a deal that's on MLS. It's a limiting source. You cannot sculpt a deal that's from a wholesaler. It's a limiting source. You cannot sculpt a deal that exists on Zillow. It's a limiting source. So the reason it is all about connecting directly to owners because those deals you could create. All those other places put you in the box. You get it? And you don't want to be in a box. Because when you're in a box, you got to go back to what the gurus say. The formula, the numbers. We don't want to be in a box. We want to be wide open, right? And so the magic to what we're going to teach you, for those of you, and that's everybody here tonight, right? That gets started with me, is we're going to show you how to get to that source and how to start getting inventory from that source. That is where my experience comes in. Because on the way to doing 4,000 deals, I went through at least 250,000, right? Because we know not everything's a deal. Went through 250,000 acquisitions to get to the right 4,000. So nobody knows better than myself and my team how to get to that source and what to say to that source. This is where those other tributaries come in that you guys were talking about. The negotiations, the infrastructure, the rehabs. This is where the deal starts coming to life and all those sources come into play. You guys starting to get the picture here? This is magical because we are a real estate investment company. And for us to do what we've done and continue to do thousands of deals with more people like you doing more deals across the United States and more areas and more cities and more states than ever before, and more partners doing multiple deals than we ever have before, we got to get serious about this thing. We can't be talking about stupid formulas and buy boxes and pigeonhole you in a position where you can't find the right deal. Because that's all those things do. They just pigeonhole you. The reality is this, though. Remember I told you a little bit ago, I said the money is the big piece why people start with me. It was the big piece why the very first partner ever joined me many years ago, and to this day, it is still the flagship. Last 30 minutes, hopefully I built a case for you why that's important. The most important piece is what I've been talking to you about, the experience. Because the last 20 or 30 minutes, sculpting, creating a deal, that's called experience. But before I get into the big announcement tonight, let's go back to the money piece. How do you know you could you could trust me with this? Think about that. That my sculpting, creating deals, doing things that nobody else will teach you works. Because I will do the one thing that everyone's here wants more than anything else. I'll put up the money for this. I'll put my money where my mouth is. That's how confident I feel that what we do is the right way of doing this. There's no guru in the United States. Now, they'll send you to hard money lenders. They'll make you sign documents. They'll make you guarantee. All that. You don't need them to do that. You know how to do that yourself. But there's nobody believes in so much in what they do that they'll say, you know what? Let's shake on it. 50-50. But 100% of my money. 100% of my infrastructure, 100% of my knowledge, 100% of my team, 100% of my rehab if you need help with that, 100% setting up the back end exit strategies to get out of these deals so we can make the money, 100% of my closing that stretches across the whole United States, 100% of my Mary, my Julie, my Marina, my Taylor, my Chloe, my Erica, my team. I'll put up all of it. That's how much I believe in it. All of this. I'll put up all the people. I'll put up all the money. I'll put up all. That's how much I believe in what I do. That's 90 to 95% of deals on us. We want you to help us find it. That's what makes this so good and so powerful. That's what makes this the absolute easiest way to flip deals than ever before you've ever seen. Is it the easiest thing you've done? Hell to the no. It's still going to be hard. But in the world of hard, which is where real estate exists, this is the easiest. So how do you know? Let's take it the next step. Remember, the big powwow is tonight. Stay to the end. I'm almost done. I got something's going to blow every one of your minds. How do you know you could do this? Because I just built an incredible opportunity. But many of you have been beat up in life. I get it. You've been promised things. Things haven't been delivered. You've potentially been shortchanged. You've tried to win in life and you haven't. Some of you guys, the last time you won anything, you were in grade school, part of some team. That was the last time you may have ever won at anything. And it's been decades of nothing but shortfalls and disappointments. I understand. And so let me share with you of why I built this business. Because in the initial stages, I had nothing over any of you. I didn't come from the right family. I was born in a third world country. I didn't come from the right tracks. Wasn't educated. I had nothing that would give me an advantage. The only thing I had, ultimately, I didn't even have this in the beginning, but I'm going to share with you why I built this business. Because if you could relate to my story now, you got this. You got this in the bank. I promise you. And the story I'm going to share with you right now is a short story. And your story does not have to be my story. But you got to have some kind of story. That's how you know that you, once again, could be a winner and the champion. And so I want to share with you why I built this business. I got 5 kids. I got older kids and I got younger kids. My oldest is 26. My youngest is 2, right? That's a pretty, that's a big disparity, right? I got a 26, 23, 22, a 3, and a 2-year-old. The reason I built this business is the highlights of my life have been my kids. My older kids, really, because my younger kids, they're still young and we're just starting. But my older kids are older, and I experienced life through their 26 or 24, 23 years on this earth. My biggest highlights in the last 26 years have been being part of those kids' lives. I've been at every event that mattered. Every event that mattered. I've seen my kids do things that I will never forget, and if I share them with you right now, you would say you're lying. My 3 older kids have been nothing short of being superstars. Now, as most of the time when they're younger, what that entails is great moments on sporting fields, good school events, right? Things that they don't even remember. But to me, they were my highlights. I mean, I could pick and point when Josh was on ESPN when he was 13, when Emma won the world championships in her world, when Luke, the smallest kid on the team, I still remember, made 3 tackles in 1 play against the biggest 3 guys on the other side of the team. I remember like it was yesterday. I experienced their lives. These are the highlights of my life. But ladies and gentlemen, I also experienced the low points of their lives, and I was there for those too. I was there when my kids were in distress. I was there when it was touch and go. It could have gone one way or another, and thank God it went in the right direction. And for those of you that have kids, know exactly what I'm talking about. I was there. Ladies and gentlemen, I see those moments like they were like right here, like I'm watching them like picture. I see the people, I remember the weather, I remember the situations, the highs and the lows. Here's what I don't remember. During any of those moments, I have no idea how many properties I flipped that month. During none of those highs or lows do I remember if I was involved in a good deal or a bad deal. During none of those moments do I remember was I making money or losing money at that point. There was zero correlation between the most amazing things that my kids went through in my memory of them and zero correlation to how the business was. None. I would be guessing if I told you, oh, when Luke did this, that month I flipped 6 houses. I'd be lying. So why did the last hour I spend talking to you about this incredible business that you could be a part of with me? When to me, I can't even freaking remember. Because the reason I could remember this is because of the business. I built this business because I wanted to experience life through my kids' eyes in events, in situations, and be a part of the highest highs and be there at the lowest lows. And I was able to do that. The reason I continue to do it is because I have a 2 and a 3-year-old, and I cannot wait to be part of their lives as they get older and continue. That's my personal why. So the reason it's okay to be excited tonight, and once again say, damn it, I'm gonna go for it. The reason it's okay is if you have that why. If you have that something like that, something that is like burning that you got to be a part of, that you need, you want to show people in your life, you want to give people in your life, you want to do this, and you whatever it is. To me, it was that. To some of you, it's the same thing. As I tell you the story, I could tell by the faces. Some of you guys are like, that's me. Some of you might be something else. But that's really the key. There is no question whether or not this works. It frickin' worked 4,000 times. We're not here to discuss my model viability. We're past that. We're here to discuss, are you gonna do it? And I want you to know it's okay to believe in yourself. You just gotta want something so bad that no matter what, you're gonna go through a freaking wall to get it. Because that's the way it's been for me. That's the way it's been for me. So let me finish with what I've been telling you guys about. Because what I'm going to make it now is an unbelievable thing that we're just releasing really tonight in front of you guys. I've never met anybody, honestly, who wanted to be in real estate, who didn't spend some time with me, and in the end say, well, that's a bunch of BS. It's indisputable or irrefutable. I don't know what the word is, but it's something like that. But I have met people, because most of you by now know that it costs some bucks to get started with us. And it needs to. Because if you're going to ask me to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into you and my team and my infrastructure and my payroll and all of this, then you got to put a little bit up and to show me you're serious. But I also know that has been a stumbling block for some of you. I get it. I've been there. I've lived in my car, okay? I know what it means not to have money. But there are 99.9% people out there. But I also know what it means to see an opportunity and figure out, is there a way to make it happen? And so what makes my opportunity so powerful, I know we've been going back to it tonight, even though I tell you it's the experience, I know most of you are like in one ear, out the other, it's the money, it's the money, it's the money. And I get it. That's the flagship underneath this whole thing or above this whole thing. And so for a long time, I've been trying to figure out, well, if I'm going to put up all the money for somebody to flip deals with, how can we make it that somebody will also put up all the money for them to start with me? Like, is that possible? Because then It's the same thing across the board. Use my money to do deals, use somebody's money to get started. That is not a near perfect business. That is a perfect business, right? And so for a very, very, very long time, I've been looking for someone like that. Someone that could believe in what we do enough to say, this is so incredible that I'll actually give somebody the money to do this. And I'll make it the payments back on this so unbelievably low that it's a no-brainer. Just like here, you're using my money. Reality is, I know you're not going to probably do this forever with me. You're just doing this to make enough of your own money to learn enough of so you can start doing your own flips. By the way, I have partners I've done over 200 flips with. They're still doing flips with me. They're doing, 70, 80 by themselves. I know what the play is. Plays just to use my money for a short period of time till you build up enough coffers so you can start doing your own deals. And then maybe we'll do half together, half you do by yourself. That's the play here. I get it. So it's like you're using my money to buy time, in essence, here. Well, what if we can get you into something that somebody will actually front you the money to start with me, make the monthly so like crazy, unbelievable, and again, just enough to buy some time to do your first deal, but then you got to pay that money back to them. But that's fair. No one's going to argue that point. I found an institution that was willing to do that. And we got them. And they believe in what we do. And they're excited about what we do. And they're excited to work with people like you guys to say, okay, I'll give you the money. You go ahead and start. Pay me a couple $100 a month till you do your first flip or second or third flip whenever you feel comfortable. And then just pay it back to me. Same concept, just buying time. Just make something. I got that in play. And we're just rolling it out. We actually rolled it out yesterday, truth be told. So here's the deal. I don't know how long they're going to be around. Meaning, I know their pockets are pretty deep, but everyone's got their own exposure, what they want to expose. So they may be around for the next week, might be for the next month, maybe for the next 5 billion years. I don't know. That's the only thing they would not tell me, but I understand that. That's people don't lock themselves in forever, but they're around tonight. So watch this. Don't do it yet, Roland. When I tell Roland, he's going to drop a link inside chat. It's nothing more. Don't do it yet. It's nothing more than a way for you to connect with my team to get access to this money. That's all. Most of you have already been talking to my team. When you fill out this form, it'll automatically go to whoever you're talking with. And they got the money allocated. Like they have a certain amount allocated to them already. So am I saying this first come, first serve? Yes and no, because I know these guys have a lot. I don't see them running out. Definitely not with what I do. They put up a lot of money for a lot of things. But I also don't know how long they're going to do this. But they're going to do it tonight for sure. So it's simple. If what I said, you're like, okay, I'm in. And maybe you've been talking to us and you're like, God, you've been trying to figure out how the hell do I do this financially? I just gave you the answer. So I'm going to ask Roland right now to please drop that link inside chat. All you got to do is fill out the information. And you're just going to be routed to one of my team members. That's it. Like they're going to get a hold of you and they're going to they're going to go over a little bit more details, but it's basically what I said. This third party will pick up your cost. You'll owe them a couple $100 a month till you get your first couple flips done. Then you're going to do the right thing. You're going to pay them back what you've done. I hope. They won't even ask that. They don't care if you want to keep on paying this thing out. But if you're smart, you'll pay it off. No reason to pay interest. Now, if you got the cash to do this, of course do it that way. Because then you don't have to pay any interest and blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. We'll probably even give you a little bit of a discount. Now, I know we're going to give you a discount if you got the money. But if you don't, this takes every freaking excuse away. You can no longer say, I like it, but I can't afford it. So I've gone a little bit longer than I anticipated. I like to get off within an hour. It's an hour. Does anybody have any questions for me? Take yourself off mute if you got a question about anything we talked about tonight. If you want to tell me something, whatever, just take yourself off mute. I don't get into raising hands. We're adults. Sergio.
Hey, Peter, question for you again. Thank you so much. Again, this is an incredible opportunity, and I appreciate everything and all the knowledge you share. My question to you is, and I know everybody's different and markets are different, but if somebody dedicates in earnest 5 to 10 hours a week towards this venture, do you have an approximate number of deals that you think would be viable, that could happen, that could be brought to you? I know, like I said, I know everybody's different, everybody works different, everybody, every market is different, but you've done 4,000 deals. I would imagine you have some sense of like what that turnaround is.
So couple things. Thanks for the question, Sergio. Couple things. Number one, markets don't matter to us. They really don't. I've done this all over the country. And real estate is not a market-driven business. It's actually a pocket-driven business. So we're going to show you how to identify pockets wherever you guys live, where almost all the deals are. No problem. We got that handled. Number two, we open up the whole United States. Okay, so definitely market's not an issue. If you live in Wisconsin and if you want to do deals in Florida, great, we'll support you because I have infrastructure literally all over the place, and where I don't, we know how to assemble it. So that's not an issue. But the real question is, I just wanted to address that. But the real question is, hey, if I'm going to put time and effort in this thing, 5-10 hours a week, I think Mr. Sergio said, what's realistic? The good thing is we're doing 95% of that deal, right? Only thing we want you to go out there is literally just go out there and hustle. Use our marketing systems, technology, infrastructure, resources, experience, and knowledge. Implement it in whatever market you want to implement it in, and start piling deals on, okay? I will tell you, and I like to set up machines. I hate for people just to chase one deal and then start again and start again. I always tell people, let's build a machine up front. It's like a rocket. Let's put a lot of, we're going to put the effort in the beginning to set up a machine that once it's set up correctly, can start kicking out 1 or 2 or 3 deals a month, 1 or 2 or 3 deals a month, 1 or 2. And for those of you that know real estate, that's a lot. That's like a shitload. And so what's really possible, and what I will try to get somebody like you to, from what I hear you, like as I'm interpreting what you're telling me, is I want to get you to the point that we're doing 1-2 deals a month. It'll take probably 2 to 4 months to set it up the right way to get to that point. Okay. If you're going to do exactly what we teach, you got to be coachable. You can't be a whiner. You can't be a complainer. You can't be a victim. You can't want us to call you every morning at 9 o'clock, get you out of bed and tell you what an amazing person, come on, you could do this thing. You got to be like what I just said, like that stuff I was telling you about my kids. You got to want it that bad, that important. And you're going to go through a wall. You're going to be coachable. You're going to do it consistently. You're not going to complain. And then once we set up the machine, a couple deals a month, very realistic. And there's no one that does short-term strategies that could do a couple deals a month that's not happy with their financial results. Nobody. Even if I had to go to those low numbers myself, I'd still be happy. Because that's tens of thousands of dollars. And if you're making tens of thousands of dollars more a month than you are now, that's an impact. And if you could do that, then why not get to the next level, right? Why not put 10 hours to 20 hours a week and double those, right? So that's my goal for everybody, by the way. Not just for you. You're a hustler. I get it. I know you can get to it, but that's my goal for everybody. Unfortunately, that's not everybody's goal when they get started with us, and I get it. So hopefully that answers your question.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, it really does. Thank you.
All right. Make sure you fill out that thing, because now I want you on the team. All right,
Peter.
Anybody else have a question? Yes, sir.
Hey, Peter.
Hi. Oh, ma'am, Bill. No, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I can't. Jill, see, that's what happens when you're blind.
Hey,
Jill,
Peter, you talked about, thank you. You talked about success rate. What is your success rate?
You mean partner success, not mine.
Partner,
I think mine's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, partner.
Same answer as Sergio. If you do what we say to a T, here's what I mean by that. One of the worst things that people start with me do is they start, like I had an example today. My team calls me like, Pete, this partner, they don't do anything we tell them to do. They refuse to do it. They keep on telling us this. I said, listen, let me call that partner myself. I called that partner myself. My team's right. This partner, I could just tell. They started telling me how to build this business. Like I talked to them for 5-10 minutes, and 80% of that conversation was them telling me what we're doing wrong. Okay, we've done 4,000 of these. I don't think they've ever closed a deal, by the way. Probably zero chance right there. Let me give you a different example. You to a T, not like 80%, not like 40%, but to a T, follow exactly what we do. By the way, what we do, we're not performing brain surgery, Miss Jill here, okay? We're just flipping properties. We'll never tell you to do something you're like, wow, I needed to go to Harvard University for that little sucker. No, we're doing very basic stuff. You just got to do it. But if you to a T follow what we do and allow us to help you set up a machine. Remember, I build machines because I want consistency, proficiency, ongoing predictability in everyone's business and all that. You almost have to try to fail. I'm not going to say 100%, that's ridiculous, but you almost have to try to screw this whole thing up at that point. Like literally, you almost have to do. You do it to a T, you will not be disappointed. It's that powerful. You don't get 4,000 done of anything. I don't care what. By accident, just haphazardly, just off the cuff. That doesn't work that way. Not in something like this, not in something like real estate. Okay. Just be coachable. That's my number one thing is I want coachability. You got to be coachable.
Yes. And one last question, Peter, and thank you very much. Are there any finance rates at all or no rates at all?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, you mean if using the third party money?
No, your money.
Tell me what you mean by finance fees.
Yeah, your money. If
there is cost. Yeah, if I have to borrow, then we just take that out of the profits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Jill, let me tell you, you have zero into it and you have 100% out of it. That's called an infinite return.
Exactly.
Okay? So don't even ask that question. You have zero into something and you have 100%. Oh, and you have no liability. Oh, and if something goes wrong, I flip the bill for that. So you have zero chance of losing any money. You have no chance of any liability. You have no chance of anything going wrong, and you have 100% upside.
That's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. That's called an infinite return in investing. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Anyone else? Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Jill, I want make sure you fill out the form, please.
Gotcha.
Anybody else?
Hey, this is Brian. I have a fix and flip that I've been looking at in Illinois. The guy wants $15,000 for it. How do I go about, do I need to go look at it, or I've only seen pictures? I haven't really seen anything else.
Well, you're not a partner, I assume, obviously, right?
Yeah, I've already signed up.
Oh, well, you shouldn't be on this call. We train every day. Make sure somebody gives you, you're on the wrong call. This is for people who aren't partners. What's your name, Brian? Because you don't even have your name.
Brian Wooten.
Okay, Brian, please use our system. We train every day on stuff like that. We'll take you by the hand, walk you through. But today is really for I don't know how you ended up here, but today I don't want to take everybody's time teaching you how to build this business, but we teach you how to build this business every day on the other side. Okay. So Roland or whoever's on, please get with Brian and get him a link to support, and just don't make it public, and put a link in support. We got to get you got to get plugged in. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Any other questions?
Yes. Do we deal in manufactured homes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't even count in the mobile homes, but I've done thousands of mobile home flips and stuff like that too. I don't even count those. All right. Anybody else?
Pete.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? It's Raphael.
What's up, Raphael?
Not much. I just want to let you know, first of all, I'm in. You know, this has been about 5 or 6 years I've been following you, and we've been talking back and forth, you and Julie and I. Let's do this, Pete.
Let's go.
as you probably know from like Sandy, I'm in a tax situation right now, and I don't know when's it's going to end. It's getting terrible the longer it lasts. This is a perfect setup for me. Perfect setup for me right now.
Let's go do it.
I appreciate you, man.
I'll remember you. You're talking to Miss Sandy?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Roland will let her know. We'll touch base and we'll get you going.
Call me first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Other questions? Anybody else have anything else? Going once? Going twice? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me finish by saying this. There's one person whose belief level went up higher today, who got sold and resold into what it is I do, who got more fired up. And you guys know who that person is. It's me. And so I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being my audience, because every time I talk about this, I get more fired up. Not about the deals. I'm fine. I could do plenty of deals by myself. I get fired up looking at people's eyes, just like you guys, knowing we're about ready to do something incredible together. I'm not in this thing any longer for deals. I could do my own deals. I'm in this thing for the partnerships. What you've seen today is a business that's not a win. It's not a win-win. It's a win-win-win. Every single deal we do, there's 3 winners. The seller, the family that we help get out of a tough situation, you as a 50% partner, and myself as a 50% partner. A win-win business model. I get fired up over that. So I know there's going to be a bunch of y'all that again started today, because today there is no reason not to. And so I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to saying these magic words to you when you get started and you hear from me personally, welcoming you to the team. And those magic words are going to be this: welcome to the next chapter for the rest of your life. So on behalf of myself, Roland, everybody else that makes something like this tonight happen and possible, I appreciate it. God bless you all. Mr. Roland's going to stay on to see if there's any lingering questions for a minute. Keep that link on. Let's go chase some dreams. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Everyone else, please click the link. We'll be sure to reach out to you tonight. Hopefully it's not too late if you're on the East Coast. If you guys don't mind, we'll definitely give you a call tonight if it's not too late. If not, we'll be sure to reach out tomorrow morning. Unless there's any quick 1-2 questions, I'll be sure to stick around here for a minute or two. If not,
Hey, Roland, I don't
advisors-
see the link to click.
Yeah, Roland, the link's not on.
in the chat.
In the chat.
Yeah, Chelsea's dropped it a couple times. There it is again, just in case.
Okay,
If not,
got it.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Sergio, do you see it as well? I know you were asking about it.
I don't. And I'm scrolling on my phone to
No worries,
try to
no
get
worries.
to the chat.
What is your
Fine,
last name,
Sergio?
Sergio?
I'll call you. This is Andy.
Thanks,
oh, got
Andy.
Give you a call, Sergio.
Andy's right there. He's got you
All
covered.
right, thanks.
Thanks, Andy.
Everyone, this is Guillermo. I got a question.
Yeah.
If I'm already signed into the auto program of
Sure. I got you.
getting contract,
Yeah, yeah.
how it's gonna be for me if
Yeah,
I
we'll figure something out as far as like an upgrade, if you will, you know. So the best thing to do is to book the call. Let's figure it out. There's some people here kind of, different phases of their career, so we'll figure something out as far as upgrading you and everything else. But we got you. Yeah.
now would I be in both programs?
Probably not. No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they give me more information as I sign in to see what that I gotta do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I'll be sure to let them know as well. That way we can talk about your individual case,
Okay.
if you will.
Got
All
it.
right. Thanks for being here, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Everyone else, please click the link. Looking around to see any hands. I think we're good to go. Awesome. Thanks y'all for being here. Again, on behalf of Partner Driven, thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you click the link, if you don't mind us calling you tonight, we certainly will. If not, definitely first thing in the morning. Thanks for being here. Have a good night, y'all. Bye for now.